Let's. I've been, as you could probably tell, recording some more of our favorite B-reel
Oh yeah,
footage. I've been recording for like the last 5 minutes. So you're gonna have plenty of footage.
yeah,
Uh, so as we lost him.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, there you are. You cut out there
Hold
for a
on, let me just
second.
make sure my.
Frozen Kyle. I can hear you,
Oops.
but you're frozen. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. Kyle's here as well. Kyle, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying the warm week we're about to have. So
True, yes, it is above average in terms of mildness and warmth around here this week. So very, very exciting given the cold and snowy weeks we've had here the past couple of weeks. So we'll definitely take it for sure.
yeah.
But so for tonight's episode, kind of wanted to set up tonight's episode a little bit. So along with my co-hosting duties here on a Couch Talking Sports, I also co-host another great podcast called The Sports Splits
Yes,
with
guys,
my
watch it.
buddy.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, shameless plug. With my buddy Doug, who obviously, if you've watched the show, you'll know Doug has actually holds the title of most guest appearances so far here on the Sports Blitz. And last week, we actually celebrated the 4-year anniversary of the Sports Blitz. Had a great episode. You can definitely check that out on YouTube, Facebook, all over the place. In fact, Kyle, maybe you'll put a link to that episode in the description.
Yes, I'll do it on.
Because, and the part of the reason why I say that to Kyle is because Kyle actually appeared as a special guest on that episode, given that he is was the first guest ever back several months ago, and is the most appeared guest himself on the Sports Blitz. So, but the reason why I bring this up, other than to shamelessly plug the Sports Blitz, is that we did a game on the Sports Blitz called Good or Bad, where we basically, Doug listed some scenarios, some sports-related scenarios. Well, actually, there were some sports and some entertainment, just a wide variety of things. And we had to sort of give our opinion as to whether or not that particular scenario was good or bad. Pretty simple game. So what we wanted to do tonight is we wanted to take that game and we wanted to play it right here on a Couch Talking Sports. So what Kyle and I have done, we've each come up with 5 different scenarios. I did mine sort of more geared toward the sports side of things, and Kyle kind of did his geared more toward like the entertainment side of things. And so we're gonna each give our opinion for each of our 5, whether we feel like it is good or bad. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And since I'm feeling in a good mood tonight, Kyle, I will let you start by sort of going through your 5 here first, and then I'll go through my 5.
Okay, so I'll just run through mine.
Yeah, you go through yours 1 through 5, and then I'll go through mine 1 through 5.
Cool. All right. And just want to make sure. So when we go through each of ours, are we doing both of our opinions for each of them?
Yeah. Both of our opinions, good or bad.
Okay. So this one, I wanted to start off kind of on a fun note. I thought this is very interesting because this actually kind of combines sports and the movie world in a definitely literal sense.
I dig it.
Because it was just found out, I guess, amid a lot of rumors and speculation and this and that, but it was confirmed, I believe, today, maybe even this morning, that Shailene Woodley she's an actress who was in movies like The Descendants.
Yes.
And the Divergent series, I think that's one of her biggest ones.
I don't know. I just know where you're going with the story. That's all.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going to get to. So she and Green Bay Packers player Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, right?
Yep, starting quarterback.
Okay. That's what I figured. They got engaged this morning. Or,
Yes.
they've been engaged for a while, but they
She confirmed it. She confirmed it. Yeah.
Yes. So good or bad?
I think it's good. I mean, I definitely send my congratulations out to the two of them. Obviously a very exciting time in your life when you take that next romantic step of getting engaged. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a very good thing, and I wish them all the best. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. Probably one of the top 10 quarterbacks currently in the game today, at least. So yeah, I think it's a very good thing. So congrats, Aaron and Shailene. Did you say? We've lost Kyle. Oh no. Oh, hold on.
Can you see me?
He's back. Yes, he's back. He's back.
What I'm going to do, I'm just going to move myself maybe close. I'm just going to do a little flip around here. Sorry. I'm just.
I was just asking. I was just finishing up by saying again another big congratulations to Aaron and I think you said Shailene Woodley. I always get the name wrong.
I think that's how you spell her name, Shailene Woodley.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I say good. Kyle, what about you?
I agree. Great. Yeah. No, yeah. I'm really happy for the two. So, it's funny because I remember hearing people are kind of like speculating on it. They're like, "Oh, they're engaged. They could be, yes or no." And a lot of times when they speculate on those things, I'm like, whatever. It's just like rumors and rumors and rumors. But no, I was happy to hear that was all true, and that they were like, "Yeah, we tied the knot. That's it." And it was funny because they were. I just like how they kind of laughed at it. They were like, "Oh, people have been speculating," even though we knew for obviously this has been going on for a while, and
right.
I think their close friends already knew right away. So. I like that they kind of kept it nice and chill, so.
Chill, everybody chill.
Yeah.
All right, what is your second, moving on here, what's your second item?
Okay, so this is a bit of older news. I mean, technically, actually, it's funny now that I think about it. This was announced last year, and I was curious on your opinion on this. So I don't know, do you know the show Batwoman?
I've heard of it.
So, Ruby Rose, who was the original Batwoman, they introduced her on one of the crossovers in the DC TV universe. They call it the Arrowverse. So she ended up leaving the show, and they didn't really recast her. There was a lot of kind of there was a lot of also more speculation on that. They're like, oh, are they going to just cast a new actress to be her character? So what they did was they actually cast a brand new actress to play a brand new character. And her name is Javicia Leslie, I believe that's how you say her name. And she just played a completely different character, and they kept going on with the story. And I just wanted to know, ask your opinion, good or bad.
I'm gonna say good, because just for the simple fact that it's good that they didn't just cast somebody new and just kind of like toss away the sort of original character, that they kind of like gave her the respect of kind of like letting her just continue to be the character, and then they kind of just like shifted the story, like sort of the focus, so to speak, in terms of the show itself. So I'm going to say for that reason and that reason only, I'm going to say it's good.
Nice. All right. Nice. Yeah, that's some good analysis right there. Yeah, no, I agree. So when I was looking into the story, I think it's good because so apparently when Ruby Rose, who played the original, had left, so apparently I guess she kind of had she's more of a film actress, I think, and I think that's kind of the main reason why she wasn't used to shooting a whole TV season. When you shoot a whole TV season, it's like it's a lot of work, and right. I think she just wasn't really her cup of tea, and that's totally fine. And and some people were really upset, and I totally get that. They were really mad that like she left Batwoman because she was a very good Batwoman and everything, and and there was a certain relationship. I'm not going to spoil it if you guys end up seeing the show, but there's kind of a reveal between her and the.
Oh, again, we have lost Kyle, folks. Hopefully, we can get him back shortly. Yeah, so it's obviously it is.
The same character.
Oh, there you go.
It was. Oh, am I back?
Sorry, you're back. You kind of froze out there for a second, but you're back.
Oh goodness. Okay. So where was I?
I think you were just talking about like the tea and I don't know, a bunch of different stuff. You were basically just sort of wrapping up why you thought it was good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was pretty much saying, yeah, I agree with you. I think that, yeah, like you said, like they didn't just like recast a random actress to be the same character. They really let the character kind of, have her own legacy, which is great. And, they even hinted that she might even come back, maybe as like a quick like guest or something like that.
Ooh.
But, and yeah,
that also would be a good thing from what you're telling me.
Yeah, and because they open it up because like they opened the season 2, like there's this whole mystery of like where did she go? She disappeared and we don't know what happened. But this new Batwoman, she really is a great actress. After seeing the first like I want to say 4 episodes, I really like her. She puts a very different kind of spin on Batwoman.
Yeah.
And I'm completely on board. So go Javicia.
Nice.
You're the coolest.
All right. Number 3.
All right, on to the next one. Let's see. So this is an interesting one. This has been talked about a lot in the movie world. So HBO Max is streaming movies that technically are in theaters. And what do you think about that? Because that's a very controversial topic.
Yeah, it's a tough one because, it's a tough one. If it was a normal time, I would say bad because obviously, they're taking movie money away from the theaters and, they're kind of, sort of giving people the chance to, not pay money at the theaters. But with a pandemic going on, I actually think it's kind of good. I hate to say it because like that way people can sort of stay safe and sort of stay sort of in the comfort of their own homes while still being able to see movies and stuff like that. I think, I understand, movie theaters are hurting. Believe me, I get it completely. But I think, unfortunately, just a lot of things are hurting right now. And unfortunately, I think, one shouldn't just like, prevent the other, something along those lines. But I think given the circumstance that we're in, I tend to lean towards, surprisingly, I tend to lean towards the good side of it. But if it was any sort of other time, I would say absolutely bad. But I just think in a pandemic, you kind of have to, people have to be safe and stuff like that. But you also want, give them a chance to, experience give the movie experience and stuff like that. So yeah, I can kind of see both sides of the argument, I guess is what it really comes down to.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I would have to lean a bit more on good. Because I totally understand too where a lot of theaters and also especially a lot of filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, they got so mad when they heard that. They were like, whoa, you can't do that to our movies, no way. Like him and Denis Villeneuve, who's like a French Canadian director, because they're like the classic directors. They really want their movies to be seen in theaters because of the spectacle of their movies, like right. Dune. They had to pull out of streaming. They were going to show it on HBO, but then they were like, nah, because Denis Villeneuve was too mad. But yeah, no, I think you said it right. Because you don't know when, it's going to be okay to go back into theaters, especially, we don't know how much longer, things are going to, even with the vaccine out and everything, it's a tough call.
Right.
Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah, I can hear you. So
okay, good.
As long as I can hear you, keep going.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Oh, now I can't hear you. Oh boy. Okay. Folks, this is just the age of technology that we're in. It's both a blessing and a curse. I mean, I've been kind of
Ooh,
the one. Oh, there we go. Hold on. He's back,
there we go.
folks. He's back. He's back. We're good. We're okay. I was just telling him about how technology can be both our best friend and worst enemy at the same time. And usually, how it's me who has to deal with just shitty technology. But yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I'll
so I
just do
think
I'll just do like the handheld. I'll do like the handheld version. I'll just like stand up and like if I gotta move, I'll move. So mine will be very mobile. So,
whoa. It's like it's like a roller coaster just going,
don't get too dizzy, man.
seriously, folks, help cover your eyes. But so I think you were about to. Oh, were you finishing up that?
Oh yeah, I'm just wrapping up. Yeah. So pretty much, yeah. No, I think you said it best, Robbie. Yeah, I think we don't know when we're gonna kind of get back to our normal, especially pre-pandemic kind of, and with streaming, yeah, it helps filmmakers get their movies out there, and yeah, people still have to I feel like they'll find a way to. But it's tricky though, yeah, because you don't get the same type of
Right.
income that you get in theaters for a lot of
Right.
filmmakers and studios. So it's tough, but I would say good. I think right now it's just kind of the safer option just to watch it at home. So
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah. Number 4.
Okay, we're on number 4. Let's see. I'll just carry my phone with me. Here we go. As I go back in the light.
Double phone. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. That's right. So I'm going to move on to music now. The Free Britney Spears movement. What do you think of that?
Oh man. I feel really bad for Britney, sort of what she's had to go through. People kind of like, I don't know, kind of taking advantage of her. It seems like in a lot of ways, and kind of like just
Yeah.
this whole conservatorship thing, and just a lot of drama there. I just think overall it's kind of a bad situation. I think that's what I'm kind of gonna lean with there. But I mean, if they're able to free her, that could be a good thing. But it seems like a really messed up situation as well. It looks like Kyle's got to move again as we're kind of.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. He's good. He's good. This is one of our more interesting episodes here, folks.
The
yeah,
handheld version.
I think it's just a bad situation. I think it's just a bad situation, but maybe the Free Britney movement can have some good implications. We'll have to see. But I go situation bad, Free Britney movement potentially good. I don't know. We'll have to see.
No, because I just started hearing stuff about her, and I pretty much agree with you. Like, the you're right. Like, I support the movement, but yeah, the whole situation she's in, it's one of those things where she really got taken advantage of, like you said, especially by her own father, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, just a lot of family drama there. A lot of family drama.
Yeah, and it's just like Brittany, and she had like a mental breakdown, about 10 years ago too. And I think people should really focus on really trying to take care of her instead of like I don't like it when
Taking
people
advantage of her. Yeah.
yeah, just like like if she has a mental breakdown, hey, can we like take care of her? Can we like help her out? Like, don't just like
Help Britney!
throw-
Help Britney!
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
don't throw her under the bus all of a sudden. Just like I don't know. It's a tough life, to be a singer. I feel like, and especially to be on someone who's like Britney Spears' level of fame. So it's like, yeah, it's tough, but yeah, bad situation.
Yeah. And I think you've got one more for us.
There's my phone. I was like, wait, where did I put my phone? And I'm dark now. Wait, I'm dark. It's dark in the room.
No, you're light to me.
I'm light.
Yeah.
Wait, what about? Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
You got like a halo over your shoulder there.
Oh, I do. Oh, that's my light. Oh, that's my light.
Yeah. But I think this is number 5 for Kyle.
All right, last one. So people kind of have been getting. So we're going to move on to video games. So people have been giving Nintendo a little bit of a hard time on
Oh boy.
re-releasing the same game a lot, or just re-releasing games in general. Like they've been re-releasing a lot of their older games for like older consoles. Good or bad?
I'm actually gonna say good because
Mhm.
I feel like nothing beats the classics, and again, especially in a
Yeah.
time like this, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to sort of give the people sort of some positive sort of nostalgia in tough times. So I'm gonna say it's
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna come down on the good side of things.
Okay. I'm going to say it's a little bit of both, because I completely agree. I think it's really good to kind of, especially on, I think it's really nice to re-release older games that you really can't get a hold of now, especially games that were in like Super Nintendo systems that you really can't buy as much anymore, that you can't find games for, or as easily. But I can understand like where some people are getting kind of annoyed because sometimes Nintendo focuses a little too much on like re-releasing their games and they don't really put enough new content out. So I can kind of understand like that, like why people don't like it. But you know, sometimes they do like stuff that's like when they re-released the three Mario 3D games, Mario All Stars 3D, that it was released on a big collection for Switch. They just kind of like threw it out there, and they didn't put any extra content except for like a possible music selection. I think they put like a music selection mode or whatever, but which is kind of like, yeah, they kept it very bare bones. But if they can re-release the game and make it look really nice and like an older game, but and like add some new content, then I'm definitely for that. So
Nice, nice. I mean, you're kind of, it's funny, you're kind of like the video entertainment expert on this show. So I definitely tend to defer to your opinions on things like this. So I think good. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
oh, thanks, dude.
All right. So now I will bring up my list here. Here's my
All
list
right.
right here.
While you bring up your list, I will bring up my seltzer. Here we go.
Yes. Cheers. Um,
Cheers.
so my first one has to do with Major League Baseball. Actually, my first two have to do with Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
My first one is for those MLB fans. For many years, the American League and the National League have used different rules when it comes to whether or not the pitcher bats. In the American League, obviously, they have the designated hitter.
Mm-hmm.
David Ortiz, obviously locally being one of the more famous DHs out there. Where in the NL, the pitcher is actually bats at the usually in the last
Oh,
spot in the lineup.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, then starting last year, they actually for last year really only they actually did so both leagues because of the shortened number of games and stuff like that. They actually put in the designated hitter rule universally among both leagues for all of last season. But now
Mm-hmm.
this season they've kind of gone back to the original rules of pitchers bat in the NL and designated hitters bat in the American League. So what I'm curious to hear
That's
from
cool.
you, Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
is the idea of making the universal, so in both leagues, making the designated hitter rule permanent. So basically having the designated hitter in both leagues, is that good or bad?
Having the designated hitter in both
Yeah.
leagues. So like when they go up first, you mean,
No, so like
or just like
when a team is batting, if like the Red
Mhm.
Sox are batting,
Yeah.
in their batting order, they have the designated hitter. So their pitcher does not bat in the
Oh, like so he
lineup.
just is completely out. Oh
Yeah, the
wow.
designated hitter replaces the pitcher, but in the National League, the pitcher does bat like in the lineup. So there's no designated
Oh,
hitter. So I want to know for you is what your thoughts are on there's this
wow.
whole this whole debate about whether or not they should make permanent the rule that in both
Mhm.
leagues they use a designated hitter instead of the pitcher batting. So I want to know whether or not you would think that'd be a good idea, or good or bad, like I said.
Wow, no, it's funny because like this is all like news. This is all news to me. I didn't know that that's actually how they handled the rules there. I didn't realize that that's how the wow. So I mean, I think it's strange that they have two different rules for that, honestly. So I would say maybe just keep it permanent for just across across the board. I don't understand like why they have to have two different rules, especially because I don't know. I feel like it just makes things a little more confusing. I mean, that's just my angle on things. Like, I think it'd just be easier if they were just like, yeah, just have a designated hitter. Like, I don't see a problem with that, but maybe there's certain issues from the other side that I don't really 100% see. So I'll say just yeah.
Very, very, very fair. I sort of agree with your sentiment there. I'd say that having it as a universal rule permanently would be a very good thing, because I cannot stand pitchers batting. All they do is lay down bunts. All they do is lay down sack bunts. They don't hit. Like, you may have one or two pitchers that maybe, will swing away every so often, might be able to hit for a little bit of power. It doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of a lineup spot. You guys know me. I mean, you guys know me, and Con knows this. I'm a big baseball guy. Baseball has always been my number one sport. And I always have very strong opinions when it comes to baseball rules. And I have a very strong opinion on this, that they need the universal DH in baseball, period, end of story. They did the right thing by putting it in last season. And the fact that they're going back to the original sort of two league rules system this year, I don't get it. I can't stand it. And that's just how I feel about it. So
Nice.
I'm going to say that the thought of having it be universal is a good idea, to answer the question. Speaking of MLB, my second situation is also MLB related. So last season and this season, MLB has instituted a rule for extra innings. So if a game goes to extra innings, where they start with a runner on second base to start the inning for the team that's on offense. The team that's on offense gets to start the inning with the runner at second base. So, Kyle, what I want to know from you is, and again, this is sort of like a little, it's like a pilot program, like they're sort of testing it out to see if they kind of want to like make this rule potentially more permanent. Again, it's sort of the whole idea of speeding up games, or, sort of cutting down the time of game, so to speak. So let me get your take first of all. What are your thoughts on MLB's extra inning runner rule? Is it good or bad?
Extra inning runner rule. Oh man. Okay. So I can understand where they're coming from on making like the overtime. Yeah, I understand the whole point of like shortening the overtime, because there's times where in baseball where it can be really long. I totally understand that. But I don't think that's the way to do it. To me, it just sounds kind of weird, just throwing a guy on second base. I don't know. It just kind of cheapens it a little bit for me. I think I'd rather have them find a different way to do it. It's just like I get it. I 100% get why they're doing that and why they're trying to find a way to speed up the games. But I just putting a guy on second base, I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to me. It just sounds off. It just sounds I don't know. But yeah, so I'll say bad on that one.
100% agree with you. I hate it. I hate it. I'm going to go one bad. It's not even bad. I hate it. I despise this rule. I hate it. It's not baseball. It is not baseball. You're giving basically the offense a completely unfair advantage, because all they have to do is get one hit. Literally, the first batter just has to get one hit, and already you're in the lead. Are you kidding me? That's not baseball. That's not baseball. You are cheapening the game. like Kyle was just saying, you are cheapening the game, and I could go on like a 10-minute rant, which I won't, about how much I just hate this rule. I just simply cannot stand this rule. I've hated it ever since they first came out with the idea a couple of years ago. I despise it, and I wish that they would just let it go to die and figure out like some other way. If you're gonna, I understand wanting to maybe cut down the time of games a little bit, but that is not the way to do it. Period. End of story. And no one will be able to convince me otherwise on this matter. So, yeah, that's my rant of the day. I hate this rule with a burning passion.
It's pretty. Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's pretty dumb. It's just like, I don't know. It's just so random. Yeah, because I'm looking at because I was thinking about other sports too, like basketball. They wouldn't do that in basketball. They wouldn't just have a guy like standing at the hoop or whatever.
Stand at the hoop, literally wide open. I mean, yeah, it basically would be like having a guy stand or in overtime in hockey, having a guy literally stand like in front of the goalie with nobody on him and giving him like a 3-second head start, trying to. It just doesn't make any sense.
No,
it doesn't make any sense. It'd be like in overtime, play the ball at the 1 yard line and letting a team start at the 1 yard line. No, stop, no.
There's definitely a better. If they really want to do that, I think yeah, you're right. They just need to scrap it and go back to the drawing board on that one.
Yeah, figure something else out.
Yeah,
I agree. So number 3 for me, obviously the Patriots offseason, the NFL offseason is in full swing here. And a lot of talk has been about the Patriots quarterback position. Obviously, it was Cam Newton last year, and there's been a lot of talk about who will be coming in as the sort of starting quarterback this season. As time has sort of started to go along here, there has been some building talk that Cam Newton could potentially be in play to return for another season as the Patriots starting quarterback. Definitely a lot of mixed opinions on this one. So Kyle, what I want to ask you is, good or bad, the Cam Newton returning as Patriots quarterback for the 2021 season?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I don't have a whole lot of opinions on Cam Newton. I feel like he is talented, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like he had the. Yeah, I can see where people are kind of like not so much on Cam Newton, but I mean at the same time, he did play with a team. So out of all the quarterbacks, I mean the only quarterback at this point for the Patriots, who could return would be Brady, but obviously he's not going to come back because he's
he's under contract to Tampa Bay for another season. So
yeah, so it's and plus after that, who knows? He might even retire. So it's he's pretty much. I think his time in the Patriots is done. So it's that's a tricky one. There's a lot of factors you can really think about it because Cam Newton was okay with the Patriots. Nothing special, but at least he knows the team compared to some of the other quarterbacks. So it's I don't know, but they can always train the other quarterbacks too, and if they bring him on. So I'm kind of mixed on this one. So I'm going to kind of go in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, but also yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say honestly, it's bad. I just think that the Cam experiment just did not really work out well here this season. I mean, the team had its first losing record in over a decade, and just it was not a good situation. I think. Hey, listen, I don't think Cam's not a bad quarterback. I just think the Patriots could do better in that quarterback position. So I think if he comes back, I think it's going to be a real struggle for this team to sort of get back to where they want to be, so to speak. Yeah. So I just think that there's got to be a better option out there. So I think bringing Cam back is going to kind of put you, unfortunately, in the same boat that you were in this past season. So I'm going to have to lean towards bad on the Cam Newton returning front myself. But speaking of sort of Patriots quarterbacks, and this is sort of maybe more of a hypothetical than anything else, but
Okay.
another name that has been tossed around this offseason for potentially making a return to the Patriots, no, not Tom Brady, is Jimmy Garoppolo, former Patriots
Oh.
backup, who obviously now is with the San Francisco 49ers, made it to the Super
Mhm.
Bowl last year as 49ers quarterback. And now it
Yeah.
sounds like the 49ers are very much interested in shopping him in a trade of some sort. And the Patriots have been sort of one
Ooh.
of the teams that's been talked about for his
Hmm.
services. So my question to you, Kyle, is good or bad Jimmy Garoppolo returning to the New England Patriots as quarterback?
I would say great. I think he. I mean, especially he knows the team. He knows Belichick. He knows pretty much how they work. So it's like at this point, it's like giving him a promotion. I feel like so. Or at least it's like going back to your old job, but you go back and they're like, here's a promotion, dude, and you're like, oh, cool. So yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I think that would be a really great move, and definitely a lot better, I'd say, than the Cam Newton move if they do that. So
I agree. I agree. I think it would be a big time upgrade over Cam, and I mean he's proven himself on his own. I mean making it to a Super Bowl with the 49ers,
Mhm.
and it's just a very talented quarterback. I kind of wish they hadn't traded him in the first place,
Yeah,
but obviously there was some stuff going on behind the scenes there. But yeah, I think it would be a great move to bring him back. Obviously, I don't think necessarily is likely to happen, but if it did, I think that'd be a very good move on the Patriots' part, bringing him back as quarterback for sure. I agree with
yeah.
you. All right, my final one, number 5,
All right.
uh, is there's been a lot of talk,
Mm.
and even some movement, so to speak, on this whole idea of collegiate athletes being paid. Obviously,
Oh,
college athletes, their
interesting.
likenesses are used a lot in video games and merchandise and stuff like that. But other than scholarships, they really don't get any financial benefit out of it. And there's been a lot of talk, a lot of movement on the legislative front to maybe potentially allow them to get some of that those financial benefits from their likenesses being used in different aspects of things. So, Kyle, what I want to ask you is good or bad the idea of collegiate athletes
Mm.
being paid?
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, you're right. That's a trickier one because with college football, wow, yeah, because like I feel like it's harder to keep track of the players in college football than it is in like the pros. The pros, that's their life, that's their job. Whereas college football, I mean, there's not always a possibility that the college football players will graduate and just join the pros afterwards. I feel like a lot of times it's just like in high school too. When you graduate from high school, I mean, I didn't, I didn't even go to college. I didn't even have a college football team, and even if I did, the college I went to, Wheaton, I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have done it. You kidding me? So I don't know. That's a tough one. I think there's a lot of factors that you really got to look into. But it would be a terrible thing. I don't think it would be a bad thing. I think you'd have to think about where the money's coming from. Are they going to be funded by the schools or?
Yeah, I think it would be from the again sort of the the likeness in sort of video games and merchandise
Mhm.
and all that stuff. I don't know. Like I said, sort of it's really more in the sort of the talking about phase than anything else. So
Yeah.
I just think it's a very interesting topic. It's been bounced around for many years. At this point. So
Yeah. So yeah, no, it is a really interesting one. I feel like I feel like you really just kind of got to look at where the money's coming from. I'm sure like like a lot of advertising companies are gonna definitely like throw their money at the players so then they can be in there, and maybe they'll even start joining more commercials and stuff like that too. If they go that direction, but I mean, it's not a bad thing. I wouldn't say it's a terrible thing. I just, I would say like, I feel like there's just a lot of stuff to look into before you just go with a definite yes.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of more in the middle, I guess.
That's a very valid point. Very valid point. I think I sort of lean towards good because I feel like, a lot of these, especially these major sports, I mean, make these schools, millions and millions of dollars, and they're kind of making it sort of off the backs of their athletes. And yes, they're giving them scholarships and, free education, but I just feel like maybe there could be a little bit more that they could do for them, for these players and stuff like that. So okay. I don't necessarily think it would be the worst idea in the world. Definitely, I agree with you, sort of taking a look at it, just making sure that, that it's being well, I don't know, regulated or sort of run, to make sure it doesn't get out of hand or anything like that. But I think overall my opinion would tend to lean on the sort of the more good side of it. But it's sort of, again, it remains to be seen whether or not it'll actually ever happen. But just a very interesting, certainly a very interesting topic, like I said.
Yeah, definitely.
So yes, that was fun. So, and if you folks have your own opinions on sort of whether our situations were good, bad, or indifferent, definitely feel free to drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. So now we are going to move on to the end portion of our episode with our favorite final segments, and I will turn over to Kyle first time once he's done chugging his seltzer.
Just get a little orange there.
Yeah, for another rousing edition of the Sue's Review. So Kyle, take it away.
Okay, what do we have today? I usually find I literally have no plan for this at all. Like I always just try to find something and it comes off the top of my head. What should I talk about today?
Review the lights in your room. Just review the lights in your
the blinding lights.
Again, I'm blinded by the light. Sorry. Okay. That concludes the weekend singing portion of our episode.
Yeah, seriously.
Jeez.
So I did want. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got over here? What should I review? Well, I did talk about Nintendo, so might as well review a Switch game. I want to talk about. All right, we'll pull this one out here. Sorry, this is my Switch collection over here. You guys can probably see my.
Whoa.
Get some games here. So these are my Switch games.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah, a little bit. That's kind of my sad life.
Of course.
So.
Hey, so we all have our guilty pleasures, my man. So it's all good.
Yeah, and I wanted to go over this brand new Zelda game. Well, not brand new. It came out back in November, but it's still fairly new. Called Hyrule Warriors, and I actually just beat it the other day with my good friend Jerome, who you guys have seen before on a couch.
Shout out Jerome.
Yeah, Jerome. Yeah, he saw. He was in the mini golf episode and a couple other episodes.
Yeah.
And we end up so. Hyrule Warriors is a game that it's actually a prequel to the very famous Zelda game Breath of the Wild, which it introduces, it's the same characters, but they're kind of like in the future. So it's kind of like a mix of it's a weird mix of past. They have they fight with swords and shields, but then there's machines that they have to fight against with lasers. So it's kind of a weird mesh of past and future kind of going on, and it's a really great series. And what I like about Hyrule Warriors is this is actually the second game in the Hyrule Warriors series. So the Hyrule Warriors series is a spin-off of the mainline Zelda game. So you don't really solve puzzles in this game. You fight. You just fight. That's pretty much the whole game. So if that sounds like a fun idea to you, then yeah, definitely. Then I think you'll really enjoy this game. It's a game where you fight in these really big epic battles. you can choose a whole bunch of different characters. So you don't have to choose Link all the time. Link's the character right here that you play in, pretty much the guy with the big sword right there, that you play in, as in most of the Zelda games. But in this one, I always like the Hyrule Warriors series because you can try out new characters from that universe. They kind of expand the universe a little bit, and they tell these like really cool side stories. So this game, the story itself, I think, is actually even better than the first Hyrule Warriors game, which came out on the Wii U and also, was re-released on the Switch because Switch likes to re-release games a lot. And this game, I think it's much more focused than the first game. The first game had it referenced all the other Zelda games, whereas this game was like, okay, we're gonna stick with just this one story, this one era, and it's a great also multiplayer game. You can invite a friend, and so Jerome and I played co-op, and it really is a great co-op experience. You're just thrown in the middle of these battles, and the combat is really, really fluid. The only problem with the game, the biggest problem I would say, is the frame rate. With the levels that are so big and sprawling, you fight all these different enemies from the Zelda universe, but the problem is the frame rate drops. So if your character is like running or swinging the sword, sometimes the game gets kind of choppy. It kind of like when Robbie and I, when you see us talking on Zoom, you know how that gets like. so like basically that
like 5
happens.
times this episode, no big deal.
Yeah. So like sometimes the game can get a little glitchy. It can kind of like slow down a bit, kind of like Zoom. So I guess you call this Zoom the game.
Yeah, seriously.
Aside from that, it's a really great game. I like it because you can find weapons and you can upgrade them, and you can go to like the blacksmith and he can like improve the weapons and everything. And it's got a lot of really neat like side quests too. So you can actually go on the game like gives you this big giant map. So you can play the single player missions, or you can play these like smaller missions, like these more just kind of like, I don't know, like escort this person here or fight these 2 giant enemies over there. So it's a game that will take you a while if you really want to complete this game. Even after you beat the game, there's still more gameplay to be had. There's still more stuff you can do. And so it's got a lot of content, and I think it's very well worth the $60. I think they did a great job making the game. It's just the frame rate's a little kind of rough, but if you can get past that, especially in 2-player mode, the frame rate, oh my God, Jerome and I had, I feel like sometimes we were like in the Matrix, like we were just like, it was just like slow motion. But no, it's a really great game. If you're a Zelda fan, definitely buy it. If you're a Hyrule Warriors or even just a Dynasty Warriors fan, Dynasty Warriors is a game series that's very similar to that, except it takes place in, I believe, ancient China. So, definitely check this game out. You'll have a good time.
Cool. Well, thank you, Kyle, for the lovely review as always, and folks should definitely check that game out. As always, like with any of Kyle's reviews. So now it's time for my final thought. And there was some big sports news, some big breaking sports news during the day today, and it involved Tiger Woods, obviously legendary professional golfer. Yes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Talking about, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, or if you're just hearing this for the first time, Tiger Woods got into a car accident in California today. I guess it was a single car accident where he flipped his car over somehow driving down the highway. And I guess he's in the hospital now. He's undergone an emergency surgery. Luckily, the injuries don't appear to be life-threatening. But still, it sounds like it could be a long road ahead for Tiger in terms of coming back from this. So I don't really want to sort of get into his very checkered past too much. But I just more wanted to say I wish him the best, and I really hope that he comes out of this okay and gets better quickly and is back on the course chasing after those major championships as soon as possible, and just thoughts to him and his family, and I was sorry to hear that happened to him today. So that's sort of my whole thing with that. Kyle, I know you kind of reacted there. Any thoughts on the Tiger news of the day?
Yeah, that was crazy. I literally read that article like right before. I want to say like half an hour before I came up to start the show with you, and it was wild. I felt bad too. It's not good to be in a bad car accident. Believe me, I've after someone who's been in an accident and has had to been rushed to the emergency room. It's not fun. So I hope Tiger will get through this. I wish him all the best. So hang in there.
Agreed. We'll be thinking of you, Tiger, on behalf of both of us here on a couch talking sports. So that is going to wrap it up for another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, all Zoom glitches aside. As always, thanks for joining us, everybody. As always, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie, and we're signing off here for On a Couch Talking Sports. See you, everybody.